Hi. I would like to take a swing at something different that I do compared to what I usually do, and to analyze the games of engines, if you can call AlphaZero an engine. It's artificial intellect, to be fair. So hundreds of games were released relatively recently, and some of them are truly amazing. So I picked one that I think hasn't been analyzed by, say, Matthew Sadler yet. I'm really fascinated by the level and the way of AlphaZero play. So it was playing Stockfish 8, the strongest engine in 2018 at the beginning of the year on a supercomputer, and it beat it badly without any opening prep whatsoever. And I found in those games many interesting novelties that AlphaZero came up with, and I would like to show you one of them. It's a truly amazing idea. Even in correspondence chess, the games ended in a draw, but apparently black has a very strong attack. So one moment specifically fascinated me, and I want to discuss it with you. You can find the link to all the games in the description, and there's Lee Chess link and also Chess24 link. There are more games, but well, even just going through slowly those games, okay, you can benefit from it a lot. For example, what I noticed in AlphaZero's play, it is constantly improving its position. It almost never has bad pieces unless it's being forced into some opening. If it's playing on its own, it would sacrifice material, it would improve its every move, little improvement, and it worked amazingly. So let's take a look at this game. For this purpose, I'm gonna use a much more powerful engine than I usually do in my videos. So let's take a look. AlphaZero is black and has no opening book, and so Stockfish decides to go for this sharp line. Knight d5, h4 is the move, knight f3, but there were games like this, so I'm gonna scroll through the opening. Knight takes e5, and I'm gonna click and use the online database that is available to check. It includes even correspondence games. So you can see there are plenty of games played like this. These are regular grandmasters, McShane, Howell, Bach, Nagy, and others. So, but AlphaZero is on its own. So c5, knight c3, bishop, first of all, here's the position. Bishop b7 was played, b3 was played, search again, queen g5 was played, some other moves. So rook e8, knight to c4. And as you can see, actually there are no more human games left. Well, correspondence players are also human, but they are using engines extensively. So you can see the dates, 2011 to 2016, already decent engines available, and these are correspondence games. They were all played in a draw after rook e1, rook e1. No, they all played rook e1 in this position. You see, rook e1, queen e1, and then takes on c4. And then queen jumps somewhere, I presume, let me see, and then queen g5 or bishop h2, which leads to apparently perpetual. I did not analyze it. AlphaZero goes knight takes c4, rook e8, queen e8, and b takes c4. So what do we see in this position? No games left, so I'm gonna close this one. The engine gives zeros, but I really like the way AlphaZero, I feel like AlphaZero is like a superhuman. It's not blundering. It would sacrifice material for long-term compensation like this one. Black is 2 pawns down, right? At any moment, maybe that's what white should have done. Put the knight on d5, give up a pawn, block that bishop, then lose the d3 pawn eventually, and agree for a draw. So I like the moves AlphaZero is playing. Stockfish suggests bishop e6, queen e5 makes sense. Improving the queen, bishop b2. Improving the rook. Knight b5 was played by Stockfish 8 on a much more powerful computer than I'm using. But one moment fascinated me, like queen g6, threatening, so queen f1, improving the bishop, knight takes a7, risky strategy by Stockfish. So it's probably playing for a win, but I don't know, if I see 3 pawns down and zeros, it means that whoever has extra pawns is in huge trouble. And now Alphazero plays amazing move like h6. It says, it's a useful move. I don't mind your pawns, I'm dominating the field. So bishop c3 was played. Maybe knight b5 was better, but it's hard to tell. So I'm using Stockfish 10. It was Stockfish 8. So queen h5, threatening mate, h3 only move. And here it amazed me, this one. Rook a8, attacking the knight. And here Stockfish 8 plays queen d1. If you check on leeches or at any place, that's horrible blunder, queen d1. Like the knight is hanging, move it, right? So, and I was like, why did it play? Why did Stockfish 8 play queen d1? He must be losing already. He must be he, she, it, I don't know. It probably is the right word to use it. It is thinking that queen d1 with minus 2.7 is already better than knight b5, but I couldn't believe why. What is going on? Knight b5 still zeros. Stockfish 10. Good job. It is bishop to f3. Amazing move that even Stockfish 10 didn't see until I played knight b5. Bishop f3. What is going on? I actually analyzed rook a6. I think rook a6 is also winning, but bishop to f3, amazing move, dominance. So what happens if pawn takes? Just the rook comes to g6, and the game is over. If king h1, rook g6, let's say white goes rook e1. F3's pawn is hanging, sorry, my bad. F3 is hanging, so white has to give up the queen, which is bad. Takes, check, then takes here. All these pawns are collapsing. So bishop f3 was amazing move that Stockfish blundered. Let's come back a little bit. So after bishop c3, that's it. Black is winning. Already okay, I will turn it off and turn it on because it remembered. I don't like it. I don't want it to remember. So bishop c3 was a blunder. Knight b5 maybe was still holding. But this is how amazing black's attack was. Bishop c3, queen h5, h3, rook a8, and now knight b5 loses to bishop f3, but there's still best defense. Let's say rook e1. What happens after rook e1? It's rook a6. Let's say g3, it's rook g6. So g3 and king h2, this amazing move queen h4. I couldn't believe my eyes, like black's pieces are just going at the king, queen g4, and the idea I think is this one. Wait a second, so let's say white goes a4, I'm still confused, g3 is hanging, sorry, and if queen g1 is the move, then rook goes to g5. With each move, Alphazero would slightly improve one of its pieces. It's amazing, and that's it, there's no good defense from queen h3. Like all black's pieces are at white's king. I can rarely see this kind of attack without a knight, without pawns, but black has too many pieces available there. So even strong engines like Stockfish can blunder. Okay, it forgot, very good. G3 is much better move in this position. G3 is much better, why would you play? And rook a6, you go king h2, and now queen h4. It's like amazing. You put the queen on h4, you force him into the fork. Black forces itself into the fork, and there is no defense from rook g6 attacking this one. If queen g1, the rook comes like this. So that's it. That is the evaluation of the position. That is why Stockfish 8 in this position, now you can see it. Now it understands that knight b5 is completely lost after bishop f3, more than -3. So I'll better give up the queen, and of course this is hopeless. So if we already with that knowledge from Stockfish 10 already on a decent computer, this is already lost. This is how dangerous these attacks are. You shouldn't eat pawns on a7 and hope that everything would be fine. You should finish the development. The rook on a1 didn't move. And this h6 is amazing. I wonder why it didn't work here. Why do you need h6, bishop c3? Why can I play queen h5? h3, bishop f3, rook e1, back rank problem, h6, okay, hold on, bishop c3 is a transposition, isn't it? No, it's not, because rook a8, no, and now rook b6 is not working because of knight c8. Oh, this is difficult. And knight e7 comes with a check. And then you can take on f3. Amazing. What if I go rook a8 here? Knight b5 and now bishop f3. What is the difference? One tempo is the difference. Rook e1, h6, and white would never play bishop c3 here, right? That would be an awful move to play, but white can win this one with capture. And now rook a6 is one tempo too short, apparently. And now rook e3 instead of bishop c3. So Alphazero is preparing this attack with the amazing move h6. I think white is already in big trouble here. For example, bishop c3 loses, as we know, but I'm not sure if knight b5. Okay, you can see Stockfish already calculated. The queen h5, h3, same idea, bishop f3. Same idea is working. White is almost lost here. So knight b5 loses, rook e1 maybe holds, but this is difficult. Still rook a8, knight b5, a2 is hanging. I would still try queen h5, h3. Yeah, black has strong attack. I'm not even sure if white is holding, but clearly bishop c3 was a horrible move to play. And now we know why. Amazing idea. Rook a8, knight b5, bishop f3, and then rook comes in. And that's it. And there are many games like that where Alphazero would sacrifice a pawn or two or an exchange for a long-term compensation. And this is like really human way to play. I see two bishops aimed at the king. I see that, for example, here black could have immediately played queen e5 and forcing g3, and whenever I see a bishop like this and squares like this, or even potentially something like this, I'm get excited because that bishop is powerful. But okay, in this case white has always a knight sacrifice for a pawn and still one pawn up. But it's clear that black's attack is very strong here. Two bishops, queen, rook is joining. Sometimes h5, h4 could work. Black has very strong attack, and this is very human play, which engines used to crush. But now Alphazero proved that, in a way, we as a species were right at the end of the day. We were just not strong enough to prove it. So that was just one game from hundreds available. I will find more interesting ideas like that. And after that, it was nothing interesting. Alphazero converted extra piece. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and happy holidays.